Hi, welcome to Trading with TK, teaching you to turn ideas into money. We're at www.tradingwithtk.com. It's Monday, December 8th. It's an important day for me because today is my daughter's birthday. So, wishing you a happy birthday, Christine. Okay, let's get to the market. Two things got accomplished today. I thought it was an important technical day. Number one, we finally closed above the high that we made on that Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And we thought that was step number one that had to happen before we could move higher than that. So we accomplished that today. We even got to close above it. Early on, I was just happy that we even penetrated it, but we did get a close above it. The other important thing was that we broke that downtrend that we've been looking at for the last couple of weeks. So I thought it was a good technical day and keeps my theory intact. I do believe we're in the beginnings of an intermediate term rally. It may even turn out to be more than that, but right now we'll just call it intermediate term rally. I believe we're going to start getting higher highs and higher lows. I don't expect the market to go shooting straight up. We'll have our pullbacks along the way, like we always do. But the market definitely has a much better feel to it than it's had for the last 14 months. So I have a new idea for you tomorrow, ATML. We'll take a look at that. I'll show you how we're going to take that idea and turn it into some money. And then we'll review all our major indexes, and I'll point out some of the milestones that we accomplished today, and I'll draw a little picture of what I expect to happen in the future. So without further ado, let's go take a look at ATML. Okay, here we have a daily bar chart of ATML. This trades quite a bit of volume. Today's volume was 2,600,000. So this is a stock you can you can buy a decent sized position in. It's a low price and it trades a lot of volume. Okay, this is a call on the long side. We'll be looking to buy this tomorrow. Close at 292. I'd like to see it pull back maybe down as low as $2.80, maybe a hair more. Somewhere down in this area here would be a great spot. I do expect the market to pull back a little bit sometime in the morning, or because my short-term indicator is quite overbought and it needs to pull back. So we might get a chance to buy some of this down around the 280 area. Target on the upside, $4.55, right up here. It's the all high where it came down from. Sell stop closed below $2.55, so it's a pretty tight stop. We're going to buy it at 280. If it closes below 255, probably exit the trade. Okay, so what do we see? Well, the beginnings of a ascending triangle. And there we have it. We haven't really quite broken out of it yet, but that's why I think if we pull back down somewhere down into this area tomorrow, be a good chance, good opportunity to get a position going into this. Okay, let me recap this. This is ATML is a call on the long side, and depending on where we buy it, we can make ourselves almost $2, not quite, $1.75-ish, something like that. All right, let's go take a look at the major indexes, and let's see what they've accomplished today. Okay, we're looking at a daily bar chart of the Dow, and the two things I want to point out in the Dow is this trend line, this downtrend that we've been looking at for quite a while. Today's action finally broke through it. Not only did we break that trend line, but we also got above the Wednesday before Thanksgiving's close. So we finally have a higher high. So now we have a low, a higher low, a high, and a higher high. So this is why I think the market's probably going to do better in the future. So on top of that, I also still think there's a strong possibility that when this is all over with, this bottom formation, it's going to look like a reverse head and shoulders. This will be the right shoulder. I'm sorry, this will be the left shoulder, and of course this will be the head. And we're still in the midst of forming the right shoulder. So this is our next resistance area. Now I've drawn this picture once before. I'll draw it again. This is what I expect to happen. I drew this a number of days ago when we were down here. This is what I drew. I expected a breakout above this, a rally back up to this resistance area, then a pullback. It may stop at the top of this, or it may come down into it a little bit more, like into here again. And then with a little zigging, zagging back and forth, eventually I believe we will break out to the upside. Now, I've drawn that picture a couple days ago, and I just think it's a very feasible scenario that could play out. All right, let's move along to another one of our indexes. Quick look at the transportation average, because this downtrend finally got broken today, and this also accomplished the same thing that the Dow did. It finally closed above the high that was made on Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And you can start to see where we finally got a higher high than this high, and without coming all the way back down and making a lower low. So now we're starting to get the beginnings of a low, a higher low, a high, and a higher high. Take a look at another index. A quick look at the Russell 2000. Same story. The downtrend was broken. We closed above Wednesday's high, and we're starting to get higher lows and higher highs in this also. Okay, and finally the QQQQs. Also, this downtrend. Today's action finally broke that. What I find interesting about this chart is that the breakout happens with a gap. That happens a lot. That tells you that it's a powerful move, because there's just too many buyers in the morning, and there's just the market just has to gap open just to find enough sellers to facilitate the buyers just at the opening. So that's a encouraging sign also that you have a gap breakaway, it's called. All right. And so once again, we've got a higher high above Wednesday's high, and we've got higher lows so far. So continues to be encouraging, and even if you watch the tape, you can tell it just has a much better feel to it in the last 3 or 4 days. And I'll go back to saying, I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday, when the first bad news came out and the market closed up. The next day, more bad news, and the market held up pretty good. And then Friday was the worst news of all. We put in an absolute reversal day with a close on the high of the day. And that was enough for me to see, and we had our follow through today. So things are looking better. We're not going to go flying straight up. We're going to do, have our back and forth, and but I do believe we'll be able to trade the market from the long side now instead of the short side. So that's my view of the market. Until tomorrow, this is TK signing off.